Hey, yo, it's me, Pops Van Marmalade, and you're watching the Comics-Related Madness Network. Uh-huh. So come get some CromCon.
Come get some.
Won't you get in trouble if the boss shows up?
Oh no, it's the boss here? Hey, wait, I'm the boss.
What's up, Dan? How you doing, brother?
Oh man, how's it going? How in the hell can I follow that?
Oh, I gotta turn that light off. Hold on. How do you follow that? You just become one of us? That's how that works, bro.
That's a pretty insane intro, buddy.
Oh, that's just the short version of it. That's just the short version. There's a longer version, you know.
I can't imagine.
You haven't seen my intro?
I don't think so. I don't think I've.
Oh, it ain't even in the studio. It figures. It's not even in the studio. Yeah,
Oh,
I have Doc. Doc made us all. You know, he's made most of us intros that have either co-hosted on his show or whatever, because he likes to do dramatic introductions of everybody that comes out on his show. So he'll go out of his way to make intros.
Right.
Good dude, Doc is. I don't know if he's watching or not, but he's a good dude. So anyway, I can kind of see.
There he is.
Oh, yeah, stupid story. I was trimming my mustache and a piece of fur flew up under my eyelid and I haven't been able to get it out. So,
Oh my god.
I'm slightly uncomfortable right now, but
Yeah.
I'll get through it. I got
a lot of water. Get a lot of water up in there.
Dude, I ran under, just stuck my head underneath the faucet and I've tried eye cup and it's just, I can feel it. It's up in there.
Oh
you
no.
know?
Yeah.
And it's like, man, I just want to mess with it, but it just irritates it more. So
Yeah.
let it find its own way out, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Kind of what you have to do there, man. So.
So welcome everybody to Drawing with DMon.
Drawing with the Demon.
Y'all don't know, Dan Monroe's local to us here. I met him at Grand Rapids Comic-Con.
Yep.
A couple years ago. And it was like, man, he was drawing the Tinkerbell. The little Tinkerbell and the great big other thing. You know what I'm talking about.
Yep, the man thing.
Oh, dude, it was beautiful. It was a man thing with a little Tinkerbell flying around in front of him. It was like, yes, this is awesome. But he was doing it live at the con. He was actually working on the piece then. And it was like, I had to go grab other people. Come over here. Look at this. We're all taking pictures of it and shit. And it's like, dude, you got to come on my show. And pretty much been friends ever since.
Right. Yeah, man. I was going to go on here and see if I could find that piece of artwork. I know I have it. I came across it just a little while ago, actually, before I came on.
Oh.
I should have queued it up, I suppose.
Man, I have so many files full of art. I can't never find anything.
Oh, here it is. There it is. I'll cue it
I'm
up
lucky
here.
I can find the banners that I need to put up.
Right.
I have remade more banners because I couldn't find the first one after I made it. Oh yeah, let me begin that. Look at that, yo. That's what he was working on the day I met him.
Yep.
That piece right there. And it was like, are you kidding me? Who the hell is this guy? And I went and grabbed my friends and brought them back. I was like, check this out. You know, it was like, yeah. I think we sold that piece of art too, didn't we?
We sold that piece in one of your live streams. For sure did. And
Yeah.
I've actually sold quite a few pieces through your live streams here in the past 6 months or so. So yeah, man.
Yeah,
So
I don't even like doing those auction streams, really. I ain't gonna lie. There are other people in our, like, family or whatever that are better at that than I am. They like set up weekend shows with segments, and they go out and people actually, they have an audience that bids. And to me, I feel like mine is so small time that you guys don't get bidders. You get one guy that buys your art.
Yeah.
Those other guys, they got an auction thing where there's enough people there actually bidding on stuff.
Right.
And I would suggest that I don't try to do those anymore. I pass you guys on to those people that do it better than I do, because I have no problem deferring to those who know.
Right.
Well,
we're always glad when somebody buys our stuff, though. So
yeah,
it makes us happy, whether they're bidding in a bidding war against anybody else, or if they just come off and say, I just want to give you some money for that, And
I like to have. I like to watch the bids, though. I like to see people bidding on it, and knowing that it's being appreciated by multiple people, and everybody wants it. And you got to actually have an audience of bidders watching you.
Right.
That's
right.
We have an audience of buyers. They have audiences of bidders. There's it's like, go over there. Tell them you want to sell it over there.
Right.
I just
I thought today what I would do is I might sketch a few things a little bit later on, but I thought I would talk a little bit about sketches and sketch work, and how artists do their sketches, or how I do my sketches. And I think that a lot of people have seen the finished art that I've done. I mean, you see some on my back wall back there, my dragon logo and things like that, and my background is just my wall, so it's not all lit up and everything, and it doesn't look all pretty like yours does, Pops, right now. But
I wish mine was pretty. Mine is crammed together because I have no space.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's like they just crammed together back there. That whole shelf, all that art in a row right there.
Yeah.
That's all, this right here. There's like 8 pieces of art right there.
Right.
There's just no room on the freaking wall for them, man. I need a museum.
Yeah. No, that's exactly right. That's how mine is too. I mean, you see the artwork back there. I got some shelving units there for Comic-Con coming coming up and stuff like that. So, getting ready for that for Grand Rapids Comic-Con middle of next month. It's only about 2 or 3 weeks away, really.
Yeah. November 11th, 12th, and 13th, something like that. And we'll both be there. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
It's gonna be one of those shows, gonna have us a little business meeting, get some things solidified. Got some people coming into town. Gonna be a good day or a good weekend. I mean, Friday at Grand Rapids. Friday it'll be me and Brad like always, but Saturday it'll be a crew. It's gonna be cool. Saturday and Sunday it'll be a crew, and you'll be doing your show on Saturday and Sunday. Oh, did you freeze? You froze on me. You better come back. Oh. Okay, you're back. Well, now you're froze again. What's happening? Okay.
I froze again?
No, now you're back. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Am I back? All right. Yeah, my internet here is a little intermittent sometimes. So if I peace out, just give me a minute and I should be coming back, hopefully. So
I'm not tripping. It's man, I've been doing this for 3 years. I've had it all happen. Power outages, the whole thing.
Right.
We had loss of power once during CromCon. I was gone for 2.5 hours. My boys covered me, man. It was good. That's another part of it, man. It's like we gotta work as a team, man. Everything has to be, I don't mind healthy competition, but think of it as co-opetition.
Co-opetition, that's right. That's a good way to look at it.
You know, you got to work together to help everybody fucking smoke it, man.
Right.
You know, there's nobody out there that just does it by themselves. Nobody.
We all need the help, you know. We all need it for sure. I thought I'd go in and kind of show kind of what I do a little bit here. As far as, you know, you and I were talking a few minutes ago, Pops, and I was talking about how at comic conventions and everything, and when you come across artists that you know, they have their air quotes. I'm doing air quotes with my fingers. You can't see it, but you know, their sketchbook. You know what I mean? And when you open up their sketchbook, there's no sketches in it. It's all finished artwork. You know,
Right.
And a lot of times it can be finished line drawings. That's a lot of times what they show, and you know, that's all great and everything. But I'm the kind where I like to show sketches. I like to show what I'm sketching and what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's a thing where, you know, I'll show you real quick. It's a kind of a thing where you can show where a sketch like this, where you start out, and this is just a rough, really rough pencil sketch. And I know as artists, a lot of artists are watching this show, and maybe a lot of you know, aspiring artists will watch the show or whatever, and even people who are not artists and have no artistic sense whatsoever, hopefully they'll be watching the show as well, because you know, we don't want to market only to artists, right? We want to market to everybody, right? And
Right.
so the thing is I think it's very important as artists that we show what our sketches look like. You know what I mean? And it doesn't mean that every single line that you draw on a piece of paper, you don't have to show that. But yeah, I think it's very important for people to see how a work of art begins and how it starts out with just a very, very rough sketch. Okay. And it eventually becomes a painting. You know?
Right.
So
Right.
through all the hard work and everything, your sketch will become a finished piece of work, just like this sketch here. Again, just a very, very rough.
I'm about to get bit again. Do you want to go outside?
Oh, okay.
Is that what you want?
Uh-oh.
Okay, I'll be right back. I'm
All
gonna
right,
take you
man.
back.
All right. But you know, this is the thing. I mean, you know, artwork begins with these rough sketches. And this is where the artist figures out what he or she is doing. Okay. This is where you figure it all out. This is where you have your problems. This is where you figure out what your problems are and how to fix them. Did I freeze? Did I freeze up?
No, you're good. Well, I can hear you.
Okay.
Move your hand. Nope,
I am moving my hand, so I'm froze. Okay. All right. Well, that's unfortunate.
Well, try this. Just try stopping your cam, like you know, stop the cam and then bring it back.
There we go. Let's try this.
Yeah, because you're not froze now. It's that one.
Yeah, it's the virtual cam. Well, that's unfortunate.
Try taking that one out and bringing it back in.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah. And while he's doing that, anybody in the chat that's hanging out, got comments, got questions, you know what's up. That's why we're here. You know. I know people aren't used to having a Wednesday morning show, but I've noticed that as people realize that we have a show in a new time slot, then they second week, third week, fourth week, they start filtering in because they realize the schedule has changed.
Right.
Jeez, we just got way too much going on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. We have 11 shows, 11 shows Tuesday and Wednesday. I mean, between the 2 days.
Wow.
11 shows. That's, those guys were out here playing Dungeons and Dragons or, some form of Roll20 game last night till late. I was like, I'm going to bed. You guys go. Yeah, I told Roland, you guys go as long as you want, man. We ain't got nothing till 11 o'clock in the morning. You go.
Well, let me see here. I don't know. I might not be able to get it back up. I'm sorry?
Did the poltergeist drain the battery?
No, I didn't drain the battery, but unfortunately, when I'm using my other camera, my old phone like that for my virtual camera for my drawing table, sometimes that works. It happens like that. It freezes up, which is unfortunate.
It's technology. If we could count on any of it,
that's so true.
Any of it, things should be so much different.
Yeah, it's so true. Huh. All right. It's still hooked up to my phone because I just turned my flashlight on with it. There we go. It's connecting. Says it's connecting. So weird. Come on,
yeah,
come on.
It's different.
There we go. There we go.
We have an assortment of tech issues.
There's so much stuff going on that, you try to set things up so that you can show things in an interesting way, because that's what artists do, right? That's what we do. And let's see here. There we go. There we go. And there we go. Now it looks like we're back. Back in black.
Cool.
So what I was talking about is this sketch right here, and I was talking about how we work out our problems on the sketches, on the sketch page, and it's just a rough sketch. It's just red line sketch. That's what I work with. I don't like to work with actual graphite pencil as much, the gray pencils.
Right.
I like to work with red lines because for me, I can just see it better. I can see all my lines better, and it doesn't rub, it doesn't smudge, things like that. So, but anyway, that's the sketch, and this would be the finished product. Okay, and again, it's the style that I like to do right now. The colored pencils on black illustration board. I think it's a really nice look to it. Gives it almost a painterly look, and a nice finished sketch look, So I go to these comic conventions, and as I'm walking around the comic convention, I look at other artists' stuff, and I see that they have their sketchbooks out, and they don't really have any sketches in the sketchbook. I mean, this is my sketchbook. You can buy it at my website, so please go and do that. But a lot of people, they just have their finished work in their book, whereas mine has some finished work, but I also have a lot of my sketch work in here. Excuse me. A lot of sketch work. And I've actually had a lot of art teachers will buy my book because, excuse me, because they want to take it back to their class and show their class how an artist works.
Right.
How the sketch process works. Okay. They like it that I leave the sketch lines in there so you can see it. So when they show it to their students, it just looks like a sketch that they can work off of. And I think it's very important for artists to do that. I think it's very important to show your work, basically.
Right.
I think that a lot of times with me, I love looking at the finished artwork. I love my finished pieces, but I also love I almost love more the sketch process. I have so much fun in this process right here. That there's a lot of times where I'll have these sketches that they'll just be sketches forever. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense to anybody.
Yeah. I've heard so many people say a sketch is never done, or a drawing or a piece of art's never done until you've sold it or given it away.
Right. A lot of times that's true. A lot of times that is true. And the thing is with me, I have books. I have books upon books
Right.
upon books of my sketches. Some of it's good, some of it's bad. Some of it's, it's just what it is. A lot of ideas, different ideas. This is where the artist learns how to draw, right?
Right.
I have what books do I have here? Comic books that I'm doing, my layouts, my comic book layouts. I have those in their own books and their own binders. I think I have my Ye Gods sketchbook here. Some more comic book stuff. Captain
Right.
Wallace stuff.
It's you. It's you.
Sometimes just crazy marker sketches, just whatever I'm working on,
See,
like this one right now. I'm actually working on right now.
I know so many people that won't show us this stuff.
Right.
They don't want to
show you. I don't know why. I've never understood why an artist doesn't want to show their artwork. I know we were talking a little while ago, and I did tell you a story about years ago when I was presenting my portfolio to a publisher. And this was back in the days when you actually had to get dressed up and go to their office and stand in front of them and show them your portfolio in hopes that they would, have you do some work for them. And after I left, I was talking to somebody else, and they said that was a part of that publisher, the friend that got me in front of them anyway. And he told me, he said, you know what, Dan, because I had some of my sketches included in my portfolio. And he told me, he said, you know what, Dan, he said, you should never show your sketches to anybody. And I'm like, why is that? Why does somebody not want to see the sketch, work of an artist? I mean, why?
Yeah,
and he's like, you never want to show your unfinished work. People only want to see your finished work.
Who's people?
That's what I said. I'm like, I don't even understand that process at all. I don't. And, that's why, I like to show my sketches because I like to show that not every piece of art that comes out of you is perfect as it comes out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't just fall out of your head onto the paper, and it's just perfect. It doesn't fall out and look like this.
What you know what? There is a guy I know, and I mean I watch him draw a lot, and he just drops it and just does it, and it's just like he makes it look effortless, Dan. He really does. He'll put something down in an hour one day and come back a couple of days later and ink it. And it's just like it makes me envious that dude can draw that fast, that good, and just you can just tell him draw this, and he's like, okay, and you draw one, whatever it is. It's like, dude's good, and you're like that, okay? Because I've seen all kinds of different stuff out of you. I know that you got that same kind of broad range.
Yeah.
Okay. That, you could pretty much do anything anybody asks you to do.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And, and what that does, that comes from a lifetime of doing it, I mean.
Yeah, that's exactly what he says.
My daughter once said to me, my daughter once said to me, she said, Dad, I just don't know how you do it. She said, I try to draw, and she's like, you just draw things and it just comes out. And I'm like, well, honey, I said, I've been doing it for at that time, probably 40 years, Now I've been doing it closer to 50 or so. So, I mean, it's just what we do. It's how we work on things, and, I have absolute, if I panned my camera around, you would see just piles and piles and piles of sketches in this room. I mean, it's insane, really. And I don't like to, I keep them, you know what I mean? I keep as many as I can. Like this one is a Kevin Sorbo. I did some work for Kevin Sorbo. And
I was going to say, it looks like Hercules.
Yep. This is one of the artworks that I did for him. Of course, the finished piece is all in color and everything, but he actually sells it at cons with his when he autographs it. So if you see him at a con, go up and buy this piece of artwork from him and have him autograph.
I want the Dan Monroe art. Herc.
Yep. Well, go and have him autograph it, and then come and have me autograph.
There you go.
But I've got here's Morgan from Ye Gods. And I've got this is just the pile that I just picked up off the side here of sketches that I just picked up that I just have sitting here. There's so many sketches people will probably never see, and I think that. I think that a lot of times artists are too quick to, I don't know, get rid of their sketches or whatever. I like to keep them all. I have so many different things that I work on. Yeah, I think that probably a lot of people have this same kind of thing. I love Popeye. I did a Popeye show here not too long ago. I think it was last year, actually, where I was talking about Popeye. Here's some Orc Girl stuff.
Oh yeah, Orc Girl's one of his characters, yo. You guys,
yep.
You'll become familiar with Dan's characters over the next few weeks. Dan's also kind of like pretty much doing the Crom anthology. He's probably going to be handling it for us. So I've been telling you guys to get your files into me or to him so that we can start movement on that. So anybody watching who has a Crom story for the anthology, it's time. It really is.
Yep.
It really, we want to do this.
Get your files into me so I can start putting that comic together, because once I get all the files together, then I can start doing the layout and see how it actually is going to go and how it's actually going to flow. And then once we do that, then we can get it
So Doc,
working.
Hex, Allison, all you people that are partially done with your crime stories, it's time to get them done, man. We want to do this, so and don't worry, we'll reach our funding goal this time. Don't worry about it, because ain't gonna be no funding goal. Ah!
Right. I mean,
those.
right. And I think that if the quicker you can get me those files, now I'm going to be busy for the next, to the end of November, really. So once we're past con season and everything, then I'm going to start putting full, attention on getting that anthology done for us so we can get it out.
Anything that we don't have by January 1st will not go in the book.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, because as soon as I get everybody's piece, then I can start putting the book together and see how it's going to flow, and get it finalized and have it okayed and authorized and everything else, so we can get it going. Hey Kay, I see Kay Pool on there. How you doing, girl? So, but I've had a lot of people ask too. Let me go back to my phone camera screen, and I've had a lot of people that have asked also what kind of paper and everything that I use to sketch on or whatever. And like I said, I'm trying to do shows that are other artists know how we work. They know what they do. We all know. It's just like a lot of times with myself, I feel like a magician that knows all the tricks. You know what I mean? I don't know if magicians actually even enjoy magic anymore if they know all the tricks.
Right.
You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yep. So, and I think that we're the same way. I think that we are a lot the same way, as we know the tricks. So it may not be as enjoyable to watch other artists do what they do or whatever. But what I do is I always have a pad of paper with me, no matter what I'm doing, no matter where I'm going, no matter what. And I know that I've even done this when I've been at work, when I've worked in factories before, where I would sneak a sketch pad with me. And in between machine operations, I'd be drawing something.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yep. Well, I'd be looking for the boss to make sure the boss wasn't coming around. So,
Right.
but I've had people ask me what kind of drawing pad I buy, or what kind of paper I use, or anything like that. And I'm like, well, I don't always use drawing pads. I'll just get like a bunch of paper. See, this is all ye God stuff again.
Yeah.
Here's a sketch of Thor, and a sketch of Hercules, and a sketch of Morgan. And actually, this was a sketch for a character in the piece that I'm doing for Crom. So, yep. So,
Excellent.
but with me, like I said, I'll just grab some paper and I'll just put it on one of these clipboards. And it always worked out well at work too, because it was paper on a clipboard, and I could always throw on the tally sheet or whatever over the top of that.
Yeah.
So when the boss came around, it looked like I was doing work, but I really wasn't.
Invoice. It's an invoice.
Yeah. Exactly right. Exactly. And I'm the kind where I call my art studio where I'm sitting at right now, I call that Studio A, and then I call my other studio Studio B. And Studio B is just where I'm sitting in the chair watching TV next to my wife.
Okay.
So a lot of artwork, a lot of these pieces
Get drawn sitting there
get
watching
drawn in
TV.
Studio B.
I can see that. I can see that.
Pretty much all this stuff is drawn in Studio B. But I just like to. What I do is I just like to start with just an idea, and sometimes I don't even know what I'm going to draw. All right, but it's all about bending lines. Now I think that I like to do cartoons a lot. And I know that a lot of my artwork is quite finished, as far as like this, like paintings. I do a lot of paintings.
Yeah.
I have Captain Wallace paintings I'm working on right now, and I know a lot of people have seen a lot of my portrait work. I started doing portrait work when I was about 9 years old. I started selling portraits of people professionally, and so I've always done those kind of things. But I've always loved doing comics and cartoons and animation type stuff.
Yeah. Well, I love when you showed me Ye Gods and you were like, I want to do something with Crom and Ye Gods. I was like, oh hell yes. And then you showed me your version of Crom that goes in the Ye Gods universe, and it was like, man, dude, you killed it. It was perfect. I was like, and this was like part of my thing too of bringing all these other people together to do this, was I wanted to see everybody's different versions of a character that wasn't really a character, right? I mean, you know, Crom was just he was just the guy in the logo. He didn't have a name. He would, I mean, he wasn't created to be a character. He's the little green troll in our logo.
Right.
He took on a life of his own, man. And it's like you guys are all bringing him to life. It's great.
And that's exactly what it is too. I mean, I had a friend of mine contact me yesterday, and was it yesterday or the day before? I don't know. My days all run together because I don't have to be anywhere half the time. But that's why it hurts when I do have to be somewhere. I'm sure other people can relate. But anyway, he was talking to me a couple days ago and sent me a message, and he's like, he said, I'm going to be working on a web comic of my own. And I'm like, oh, that's very cool. And I was showing him what I was doing with the gods and everything. And he's like, yeah, he said, I've never done a comic of my own or anything. And he's like, I'm looking for pointers, And so what I told him, quite frankly, is I said, the thing is just to have fun with your character, have fun and just invite everybody else along for the ride,
Right.
Now, I think that what happens a lot of times is that people tend to forget that. Even artists tend to forget that. I think that a lot of times artists are concerned with making money on their artwork. And you know what? Money's nice when it comes. It is. We all want it. We all need it. But myself, personally, money is not always it's never the motivating factor for me. If I'm the kind of person where my entire life, I've worked at one thing or another, whether it's artwork, whether it's I've been a restaurant manager, I've been a grocery store manager, I've been a soldier, I've been a bodyguard. You know, I've done all these things. I worked in factories. You know, so making money is easy. You can always make money. You know, may not make a lot of money, but I've never really I've never really been without it that horribly, you know. I mean, I don't know.
But you do know.
I do know. I mean, I don't want to come off saying, you know, like I'm wealthy or anything like that, because I'm definitely not. Just like when I did the illustrations for the Dennis Rodman book, when I designed and illustrated that book, and I had people that, and I was working a job. I was working a 9-to-5 type factory job at the time that I did that, you know.
Right.
And I would come home at night and I would work into the wee hours of the morning to get the book done, you know, after my job. So I had people ask, you know, hey, you know, you made a lot of money on that book, you know, does that mean that you're, you know, going to quit your job or whatever, which I did not. Because that's not the way it works. You know, people tend to think that just because you do one project or a bunch of projects or whatever, you know, and the thing is people watched that project put my name in every media source, not just in America, but in this world. I mean,
right.
I would wake up to people on TV plastering my artwork on TV on their shows.
Well, they're interviewing Rodman.
My artwork on the Today Show.
Yeah.
And they were talking about my artwork. You know what I mean?
Dude, I get it. Not that long ago, Mike Barron was on Fox News talking about Thin Blue Line. Sometimes you get that media push, man, and I mean, it blew his book up. You know?
The thing is, though, it doesn't make you rich.
No, nobody gets rich in books. Well, Brandon Sanderson might have got rich. He did that Kickstarter thing that broke the internet that one time last year. Think that book like got $6 million or some stupid shit. It's like, get out of here. It's a book.
Right.
But, you know, I mean, sometimes lightning strikes, you know, just not the industry isn't designed for lightning to strike. The industry's designed for you guys to be stuck in a bullpen. You know, the comic industry, it doesn't play to you guys making money. It never has. You know, I mean, they stole everybody's IPs. They did all kinds of shady shit over the years. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, we have to put up with a lot of crap because, you know, the thing is I don't know if I could work in a bullpen because, you know, somebody'd piss me off and I'd have to throw them out a window. And
yeah, see, I could see. Yeah, he was already rich. That's true. He had done the didn't he finish the Wheel of Time series when dude died?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it was him. Yeah, we know he had money, but my God, he broke the internet that day with a book.
Yeah.
With a book.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I mean, I was trying to launch. I think it was Alpha Dogs. We were launching Alpha Dogs that day, and Kickstarter wasn't. It was showing the backer count, but it wasn't showing any money. Right.
Right.
Because he broke the internet that day.
Right.
It's like Kickstarter was all messed up, man. It was crazy. Yeah, yeah. Hi, Allison. How you doing? By the way, Tuesdays and Wednesdays combined, we have 11 shows now, Alison. And when I got up, when I go on the road, guess what? As a matter of fact, I have to talk to you about the weekend of November 11th, 12th, 13th, because I'll be doing the Grand Rapids Comic Con. I'll be up there hanging out with him, with this guy, and Chris from Laughing Rogue's going to be here, and Monty's going to be here, and we're going to have us a little meeting. But I will need somebody to make sure the shows go off that weekend. If you're up to it, let me know. Weekends aren't too bad. It's Tuesdays and Wednesdays, which are the worst. You will be running the shoes then? Okay. I would be at the con. I wouldn't even be here to do the shows. So somebody would have to be well, let's see, what do we got? It's the draw stream, the show ops, we don't really have anything on Saturday yet, a regular show. Friday we have 2 shows, the gaming stream and the gaming stream. Geez, Chris is going to be with me, or he'll be on his way here that day. So yeah, there might not be Allie, you want to do a gaming stream on Friday? The 11th, I think it's the 11th. I don't know. There's so many days are messing together for me now. I'm serious, man. It's all work now.
Yeah, you're like me, man. The days to me just kind of, mesh together because, I don't really look at the calendar or anything unless I have to be somewhere,
We have Rose's show at 7:00 at night on Friday, that Friday, the 11th. And then, like I said, the Laughing Rogue and gaming show, Chris going to be on the road, and I'm going to be at Grand Rapids Comic Con. So unless you want to run a gaming show that day, there probably won't be one. He can't do it while he's driving his car. So, yeah, if you want to do a one-shot that day, you can do it any time, too. It doesn't have to be at 11 o'clock like he does it, just so long as it doesn't interfere with Rose's show at 7. You're good. You'll have control. I'll be on the road. And that's what's going to happen next year, 10 days out of the month. I'm going to be on the road, and by then we'll have pretty much around the clock action by then. So yeah, cool. That's good to know, because gonna need everybody's help to make this thing happen, man. And oh yeah, Honeycomb's big. You heard me say that.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap! I'm gonna catch so much crap for saying that. It's one of those inside jokes on the other shows. Rich and Doc have this horrible habit of singing that stupid Honeycomb song all the time. If one of them starts, then the other one joins in, and it's like anarchy. It's horrible, and I have to listen to it all the time, and to the point where now I'm saying the stupid words myself. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
Allison, I've met Dan at Grand Rapids Comic Con. He is he's most excellent. The first piece I saw of his just blew me away. And I've seen all the other stuff that he does since that he's, showed us since then and stuff. And I still think that piece is like one of the best things you've done. Dude, it's just badass. I don't care what anybody says.
Well, I just do what I do. I mean, like I say, I'm an old guy, so I'm 58 years old. I've been doing this my entire life, so I've been doing it for over 50 years, one way or another, Yeah. So, I've been doing professional art since I was 9 years old. I mean, I know that's hard for some people to grasp, I suppose, but You know, my dad was a preacher, and I was always around a lot of older people when I was a kid, and I was that kid that was down at the end of the dinner table if we were out to dinner or whatever, and my
Right.
mom would give me ink pens or whatever to keep me quiet, and I would start sketching on napkins, and I would start sketching caricatures of the people that we were visiting or that were visiting us or whatever.
Right.
And it would always happen where somebody would get up to leave the table and they'd walk behind me and they would stop. and they would usually create kind of a ruckus because they were like, oh my God, look at what this kid is doing down here and stuff. And of course, you know, I'd be like drawing not just a caricature, but a lot of times a full blown, you know, shaded piece of artwork, you know, full, you know, with full form and volume and everything else at 7 or 8 years old, of the guy down at the end of the table talking to my parents, you know. So when my parents realized that I could do those things, then you know, whatever church we went to, because they were evangelists, so that means that we went to churches. I was in church every flipping day of my life when I was a kid, you know. That's why I don't go now. I don't need to, but
at an early age, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, but you know, so I started doing pastel portraits of people, you know, when I was 9 years old, you know, and it's just things that I've done my entire life. Of course, even then I knew I wanted to be an artist.
Right.
When I grew up, and I remember in school one time, I think it was like third grade, we had one of those things of, you know, that you had to do this essay of what you wanted to be when you grow up and everything, and my essay was how I wanted to be a children's book illustrator in third grade, yo. And my teacher was like, oh my God, that's so freaking awesome and stuff, you know. And of course I was like, you know, I was always the teacher's pet of the artists anyway, you know, the art teacher always loved me. And I think that yeah, that would cure me of my Catholicism too. For sure. But you know, it's just something I've always done, you know. And even when I was in the Army, you know, I was that guy that the general would call to come over and do artwork for them or whatever. And you know, as I grew up, I started doing paintings and started hanging those in art galleries and selling those in art galleries in Chicago and New York and stuff. And when I got out of the Army, and then I started working on you know, illustrations and everything, and started doing children's books. And now I've got like 30 or 40 children's books out, you know, that I've illustrated, and do these comic books and things like that. And I taught at Western Michigan University. I mean, I've done a lot of things, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got cured of my religion thing at a young age too. Not religion, organized religion.
Yeah.
Okay, I got cured of that at a young age because my mom had 4 kids in a 2-bedroom apartment. Okay, and drove an old '68 beat up station wagon and went to a church in a more ritzy area in Northeast Phoenix, right? We were the poor people at the church. Okay.
Yeah.
And oh, it was so nice of them to invite us, the pastor and everybody, to invite us out to their house for a barbecue and everything. Except my cynical little ass at 10 years old was like going, great big ass house, swimming pool, suburban, boat. Mom, why do you give these guys money? Why do you give them money every week? They should be giving us money.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw it from a completely different angle at a very young age, and I went, nah, this ain't right, man. This just ain't right.
Well, I mean,
would give us kids money to put in the collection plate every week, and had been since I was little, right? Give me a little envelope to put in the plate when it went by with pennies in it or whatever, right? But from that day forward, I didn't put that envelope in the fucking thing. I gave her money back after church. Because it was like, now I understand the religious part of it, but for me as a little kid and looking at it like, wait a minute, ain't they supposed to be helping people like us?
Well, here's the thing, and I don't know the situation of that place, and I'm not gonna uphold anybody's church or anything like that, but I'm gonna say from my
I'm just
point
showing
of view,
you where my
growing up,
cynicism came from, like early at a young age, where I became cynical of how the thing operated, right? You know,
right. But here's the thing: from my point of view, as a child growing up, and my dad being the preacher, if the people didn't put the money in the plate, we didn't eat.
Right. Well, you were
times
well off like they were.
I grew up right, and you know what? Since my dad was a preacher, I grew up very, very poor. Very, very poor.
See, they didn't look like they were living poor.
You know what? Here's the thing: we looked forward to the government truck coming around giving the cheese away. That's how poor we were.
That's how we were living. That's how we were living. It was like, and I was looking at them and I was going, why do we have to go? Why ain't y'all just throwing us a bone over here? We come to your church every week.
Some of them really do get greedy, and some of them really do swindle people. I really do believe that, you know. But
well, I mean, I don't even.
That's a whole different topic for another day.
I wouldn't even necessarily say they were swindling people, because it was a pretty well-to-do neighborhood, and other people probably tissed very well.
Yeah,
I was just like, we stood out as the poor people, the poor family in the freaking congregation. They could have been helping us, you know. That's all, you know. And I was very cynical about it after that. I was like, well, they talk a good game. Yeah. They're up there on the pulpit talking about helping the less fortunate all the freaking time.
Yeah.
Where's ours? That's us. We're the less fortunate, you know.
It's exactly right. I mean, you know, and a lot of people, you see that a lot of times anyway, right? You see a lot of people talking a great game, and then when it comes time to do it, they don't. That
was how I felt, you know.
Yeah.
And it didn't change my spiritualism, but it definitely changed how I look at the people trying to tell me what my spiritualism should be.
Yeah, right. That's exactly right. It's exactly right. Yeah.
You know, it's like, I'll figure this out for myself, y'all. You just go do you. And there's so many different sects.
Yeah.
Ooh. You know, it's like, okay, so everybody just makes up their own shit now, and this one's mine.
Right. And you know what? Allison's like, she won't go into her feelings on religion. You know what? And that's the same way with me. I certainly won't either, because, you know, it's like I said, it's a whole topic for a whole nother day. But you know, I don't know. Anything that I would any religious feeling that I would have had towards God or anything like that was beat right out of me by the time I was 5 years old. So you know what?
Yeah.
You know what I can tell God to do?
It's like you just, it's what you got in here.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to create your own good being.
That son of a bitch is going to have to answer to me when I get up there.
That's what I say to the ghosts. That's what I say to the ghosts, man. I'm gonna die someday. I'm coming looking for your ass, and they throw my art off the wall and shit. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, dude. I lived in a house in Phoenix. My uncle stayed there for a week while I was gone, and he's like, I'll never sleep at your house again. And I knew we had, an active presence at the house, but I just talked to it and, acknowledged it when it was trying to get attention. And then, but one time he messed with my golf clubs. I'm like, I'm going to die someday. I'm going to come looking for your ass.
Well, you know what? A lot of my religious feelings is why I'm the demon right there. That's why I'm demon.
You see, there it is. You know, look, I was pretty much, I wasn't the best person most of my life. I did good for people that I cared about, but there was, I didn't care about a lot of people. Now it's the other way around. It's like I have a whole bunch of people that I care about, that I'm concerned about, and I want to be able to make money, because COVID really did slow everything down for people like you horribly. No cons, no nothing. That was when I got this, I don't know, new lease on being a different person. Try to go help people. I quit worrying about myself and went out and tried to help other people. Oh my God, me? No, not me. Yeah.
You know what? It looks like our time is up.
Is it?
It's noon.
You got anything else you want to show off real quick? I mean, I don't have another show for 2 hours, but if you got anything else you want to show off.
You don't have another show for 2 hours? Well, let me show this real quick then.
Oh, look, yo.
Isn't the sound coming through?
Sound. When it's okay though, because this is the show. This is Captain Wallace.
This is what I do for Captain Wallace.
That's awesome, dude.
And I my crew there, and then we're going to be at the Grand Rapids Comic Con. We'll be doing 2 shows.
Yes.
As Captain Wallace and Andrina the Mermaid there, and Spooky Joe, and so everybody, come and see that. Come be in the audience. We're going to be recording it for the TV show and everything. So
don't let me move without my stuff this time. I walked away and left a little pile of stuff on their table, because I was going table to table interviewing people, right? And he had given me some stuff, and I set it down because we were taking pictures and doing all kind of fun stuff. And then I left it there. And about halfway home, I was like, oh, shit. So I text him real fast. Hey, man, you got this stuff? Man.
I still have it. So.
I had no idea. We stopped at 8 other tables after that, interviewing other people, and then we went through looking at all the video, trying to see if I had set it on any of those tables.
Right.
And it's like we couldn't find it. I'm going through all the videos. I don't see it nowhere. Damn, Dan.
Well, what's funny is that you had set it down on on the table back, where we had our stuff, our personal stuff. And you had set it there, and you're like, I'm going to be back for this. I'm just going to go out and do whatever out there, and then I'll be back. And then it came time for us to leave that night, and I'm like, I guess we'll just take it home.
Yeah. I was definitely, man, I was glad you had it, though, because I set it down. Anybody could have picked it up off any table. Who knows?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't even sure where I had set it down, so... Those running around the floor just doing impromptu interviews like that and stuff, that's a completely different thing for me.
Yeah.
As opposed to all the other times I've ever been at cons, it's like I'm not looking at the stuff. I'm talking to the people.
Right.
Right. And it's like I miss everything. Everything. I spend the last 20 minutes running around trying to see if there was anything that I wanted to buy, or you know what I mean? Because I spend the whole day networking with people.
Yeah.
And I mean, dude, we're gonna have a good time. I will see you. We will have us a little business meeting, and get ready to take off, man.
Yep. Absolutely, man. Come in, be part of the show, come in, be part of the Captain Wallace show.
Oh man, should I steampunk out or something? What?
Well, if you can, I can, if you want, I can work it into the show,
I don't know. I'll be with Monty and Chris and everybody, but we'll see what's up. We'll figure something out.
We'll
definitely be there
because you saw my show before. I make everybody get up and do stuff, and I mean, it's like what I like to think of Captain Wallace show is I like to think of it as like kind of a cross between Jim Henson production and who were they? The Wiggles. Remember
Right.
them?
Right.
That kind of thing for kids.
Right.
And what we do is we kind of make everybody get up and do participation songs and things like that.
hmm It was cool. I liked it. Only thing is, though, it's like
as part of the entertainment. So
when you're there, you have to bring your
you know.
imagination to. You have to bring your imagination. At the live show, it
bring your imagination.
it doesn't have all the
What
background.
we're going to be doing is what we're going to do. Exactly. We're going to be telling the story of the Slither DD, the day that the Captain Wallace met the Slither DD, which is sea serpent.
Mhm.
And it's gonna be a lot of fun. I actually have a good friend of mine. I was talking to him a few days ago, and he's very big into puppetry, and he builds puppets. And he actually worked with Jim Henson's, their company and everything else, and he was trained by the Jim Henson company and everything. So, puppet's going to be awesome, and he's going to make me a Slither DD puppet. So, yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Yeah. So it should be. So, yep.
You're gonna need somebody to be the puppeteer.
You know what? I might have to, because otherwise, you never know.
Maybe you will find a spot for me in your show. We'll see.
You know what? I always have a spot. The thing is I had a friend of mine once contact me a few years ago, and he's like, Danny said, I'm going to move up there, boy. And I'm like, well, I said, I can put you up here for a few days. I said, you have to live under my art table, but
Yeah, I ain't that far away. That's the cool part.
Oh my gosh. Well, dude, I think I'm gonna head out.
All right, brother. I will see you this weekend, I think.
No, it's not this weekend.
No, don't you have a spot, CromCon?
Oh, do I? You know what? I think I do, don't I? I think I did see
I
it
think
on
you
that.
do. I have to look. Let me check this.
Yeah, you have to look and make sure. Let me know.
Yes, 4:00 Saturday.
4:00 Saturday. Okay.
Saturday. Yes.
All right.
So I will see you this weekend.
I'll see you this weekend then.
You have a good day. Thanks
All
for
right, man.
watching,
Have a good one.
everybody. Go follow DMon. Go follow him on Facebook, on Instagram, Dragon Brush Arts. Yeah, dude, he's got some
I'm
awesome.
everywhere, man.
And you people get your Crom stories together. Get them together. Let's do this.
Get them to my email. Get them to my box.
And if you don't have that, hit me up. I will fix you with it. Y'all have a good day. Peace.
Bye.
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals.